Okay, tell me when you can see me.
Okay.
I'm live?
No.
Oh.
We are still, please wait.
Okay, on my end it says I'm live. But
yes, you are live now.
Oh,
but
great.
I don't see it's black.
It's black? Oh.
Yeah.
Video's turned off. Okay, wait, let's see. Waiting. So you can hear me?
Yes.
They can probably hear you too. Oh, geez. Oh, is the sound off? No, we want it on here. So the video is black. Why is the video black? Because I see the video on my end. Google Effects Capture. It says live. This is want it on here. So the video is black. Why is the video? Are you sure it's black?
Yes, I see you.
Okay. Oh, I think it's just delayed. So how do I see if anyone has any questions here? Oh, I see. Okay, cool. All right, Andreas, I'm going to end the Skype call.
Okay.
And then see if this YouTube thing works. What is this? Present to everyone. Hide from broadcasts. Okay, this is kind of funny because I think I'm very delayed, but wanted to say hi to everyone and see if there's any questions for me. Let's see. This is obviously the first time I've done a live broadcast, so I don't know what I'm doing. Cameraman, capture, screen share. Screen share, okay. Chat. What's this? Add apps. Settings. Cancel. Settings. Cancel. Okay. Okay, I should probably start talking about myself. So I am working on 2 albums right now. One is a meditation relaxation album, and I'm playing all my different flutes on this album. So I have an alto flute, I have several Native American flutes, which if you're a flute player out there, or even if you're not, I think it's one of the best instruments that anyone can play. It's really easy, and it makes a beautiful sound. I might play a little bit for you. Tomorrow I'm filming my new video, Game of Thrones, and I use a Native American flute in that song, and it sounds pretty cool. So I was thinking I could play that for you if you guys want to hear that. And what else? So yeah, that meditation album should be done in about a month or so. And then my pop dance album should be done beginning of September, and then I'll probably take a couple weeks before I release it. Those are my 2 big projects right now. But besides that, I'm always teaching and teaching flute lessons and teaching yoga. So Andreas asked, do you have any suggestions for young musicians? I think what I love about teaching young musicians right now is how to, well, first of all, playing songs that you really enjoy, because practicing can be the most challenging thing to do. You know, it takes a lot of dedication, especially for a flute or violin. When you're practicing by yourself. So if you have songs that motivate you to get going, I think that is a great way to keep practicing. If you have a private teacher, that of course helps. And what else can I tell you? This is very interesting, kind of talking to yourself right now. Let's see, I'm going back. Oh no, it loads. Oh, I saw Andreas. Okay, any other questions out there? You can type it in the YouTube. There's a box right next to the video. And now I'm being quiet, and this is a little awkward, sorry. Oh, there, you can see I'm in my bedroom right now. What's going on? Wonder if there's a way to have someone ask a question live. There's gotta be a way. Like adding people, screen share? No. Ooh, that's a good question. How do I memorize the songs? Okay, I think memorizing music is so important. And, you know, I was classically trained, so I always had a music stand in front of me when I was performing. And well, that's not necessarily true. I started with the Suzuki method, and we had to memorize a lot of music at the beginning. But now whenever I perform, I never have music in front of me. And I think it's much easier to connect to the audience when there's nothing in front of you. You have a little bit more freedom. And that means you also really know the song well once you have it memorized. So the best way to memorize, there's different ways to do it. I mean, you have to play it over and over and over again. So either listening to the song as well, so you're listening to it when you're, I don't know, cleaning your room. And then I kind of take chunks, like, how do I do it? Well, like River Flows in You. It's got an A section and a B section. And so usually music has that kind of pattern, and you can, if you can kind of make it like a map, like you know in your mind where you're going, that's really helpful. Thanks, Bruno. I got a kiss from Brazil. How do I, okay. Have you ever been to one of her concerts? Yes, I've been to a Lindsey Stirling concert. I've been to 2 of them. And they've both been really inspiring. I'm super impressed how she can play and dance around at the same time. I mean, she really inspired me to start making videos as well. I saw one of her videos a couple years ago, and I was like, oh my God, that's so cool. I want to do that too. So that's really how I started making videos, is after seeing her. I'm reading the comments here. Bevani plus Flute equals paradise. Yeah, did that help, Ron? I'm not Ronya. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name, but yeah, really try to memorize if you can. I think it's a really important part of playing and will help. Any other questions out there? Now there's an awkward silence. Okay, what else can I say? Tomorrow I'm filming my Game of Thrones video. I think I already mentioned that. But we're gonna go to a beach close to where I live. And all my videos are done by my friend Ryan. So he's coming with a helper. And I have my outfit ready. I'm going to be Khaleesi. And I got another question here. Do you want to make a collab with Lindsey one day? Yes, I do. I would love to. I would love to. That is in my vision. I see it happening at some point, but right now, I mean, Lindsey is super busy on tour, and she also has, I think, a lot of options of who she can perform with. I did see her. So one of my gigs is I play music in the airport, and I was playing one day, and I saw her band walk by. I saw, and I was like, oh my gosh, hey guys, I know you. And so we started a little chat on Instagram with Gabi, and yeah, so that was cool. And I think Lindsey knows who I am, but she's pretty busy doing her thing. And she's never really responded to one of my emails saying, hey, I'd love to collab with you. So we'll see, maybe in a year or 2. What else can I tell you? It's only been 15 minutes. What is your favorite piece of music of all time? From Teresa. Oh my gosh. That is a really hard question. I mean, I think as you'll see in all my CDs that I'm releasing, it's a big variety of music that I like and enjoy. So I have like my classical and Irish, and then I love what I'm working on, my meditation. It's all just beautiful, soothing flute music. And then I also have my pop dubstep music that I love. And it's fun to dance to and work out to. So I love all different types of music. What is your favorite piece of music of all time? I mean, I guess in different genres, I can tell you, like classical, I love Mozart. Another person that's really inspired me is this group called Deva Premal, and they're more new age meditation music, but there's a flute player and he just blew me away with his talent and what he could do on the bamboo flute. So that's been inspiring for my meditation music. Thanks, Andreas. I got another question. I'm already making promotion. I crossed my feet. Oh, I got a comment. Yes, I hope one day I'll get to meet Lindsay and play with her. She's on her US tour now, and she's not coming to, well, actually she is coming to Seattle in September, so hopefully I'll go to that concert. I have some flute students too who they now love playing her music, so I'll teach her songs in my lessons, and they want to go to the concert with me, so we'll see. So sorry, Teresa, I don't know what my favorite song is of all time. That's a really hard question. What's yours? How long does it take to learn to play the flute? Well, I started when I was 7. I think the most difficult part is just getting the sound, a good sound. And you're blowing across this hole. And so when you figure that out, then the fingerings, that's a little bit, I think, easier to learn. But getting a nice sound, and it came pretty natural to me when I first started playing the flute. It was easy to make a sound. And everyone has a little different, because of our lips are different, so everyone's sound can be a little unique to them, which is cool. So I'd say if you're a beginner and just starting, it's definitely going to take you a good year to feel like, okay, I know all the notes, I can make all the different sounds. And then it takes a few more years to feel the ease and enjoyment of playing anything. I think it takes a good 3 years. So my videos, I have, again, Ryan has filmed all my videos, and we do it every video except for my original Driven. We filmed in one day, like one take. So tomorrow we're starting I'm picking him up at 6:45, and it'll take 15 minutes to drive to our location, 15-20 minutes to drive there. And we're filming from 7 to 9:30 because we're trying to get the sunset hour. And yeah, and he's so quick. And the Game of Thrones video that the music, it's like almost 2 minutes long. So it's a pretty short song. Oh, good, Teresa. You couldn't answer your own question either. Let's see. So I'll show you the flute that I'm going to play on Game of Thrones tomorrow. I'll show you my Native American flute. I'm going to grab it. Okay. Let's see if I can do this. It's good for me to practice right now because I'm going to be playing this tomorrow. Let's see. A little taste. Probably practice that a little more. Okay, whenever you record videos in different places. Not exactly sure what you mean by that. Whenever you record videos. Yeah, I don't know what can you explain that question? What do you prefer, playing flute in beautiful landscapes or playing flute in front of an audience? Oh, gosh, I'd love to do both, right? Have a beautiful landscape and an audience. That would be ideal. I think both are different experiences. I think, you know, playing outside is really enjoyable, being in the sun or looking at nature. Making a video, of course, is completely different than performing for people. But I love to, so part of performing is you just, like when I'm in the airport, I get to meet lots of people, I get to say hi, I get to connect in that way. And then for me as a performer too, I love getting excited, or if I get a little nervous, I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's, what is that about? And how can I use that to connect and understand myself more? What inspired you to play the flute over all the other instruments? I was 7 when I started playing the flute. So I didn't really have a choice. It was more my mom. She had played the flute in college and she liked the sound. So she's like, you know, you should play the flute. And it came pretty natural to me. And I had a great flute teacher who kept me motivated because I didn't always practice. And yeah, it was a challenge sometimes to keep motivated, but having a good teacher and supportive parents. So I'm so happy I stayed with the flute. Did you play in an orchestra? Yes, I did play in an orchestra. I played in my high school orchestra. And then my senior year of high school, I joined the Seattle Youth Symphony. And that experience really changed my view of music. It expanded my view of music because I was playing with a lot of other amazing musicians, and then they had a concerto competition, and I won the concerto competition and got to play in Benaroya Hall, which is our beautiful classical music hall in Seattle. I won the solo, and I played a Mozart concerto, and I was super nervous, but it was so amazing to be the soloist with the whole orchestra behind me, and really inspired me to, I'm like, wow, this could be cool. And I really enjoyed the solo aspect of it, like being able to hear myself, because in an orchestra, it's more about blending together. But I really like being the soloist. Oh yeah, I definitely know Jethro Tull and Ian Anderson. I mean, I actually didn't know about them until maybe 5 or 6 years ago. And when I found Ian Anderson, I was like, oh, he's awesome. He made the flute like rock out. And yeah, I actually found a flute duet that he wrote, and I performed that with one of my friends, and I think he's super cool. And sometimes I play Boré. He did a version of Boré for people at the airport. What kind of flute is this you've just played? Oh man, now you're all seeing that. Okay, so I just played a Native American flute, and I have like 4 different Native American flutes. I always play Native American flute in my yoga classes for my students at the end when they're laying down in Shavasana. I walk around the room and I play the flute for them. And again, it's a really easy instrument for anyone to learn, so I highly recommend it. And you'll see it in the Game of Thrones video. Like, that's kind of the solo flute that I use. Which of my flutes is the most difficult to play? I think, I mean, I think the silver flute, the classical transverse flute, is probably the most difficult. I mean, now it's easy for me because I've played it for a long time, but it's just got so many different, I mean, you can play all the chromatic notes, you can do so many different sounds with your embouchure, so I think that's the most difficult. Frederico, what's up? Are you planning to visit Argentina? You have lots of fans here. Oh, that's so sweet. I'd love to visit Argentina. I haven't toured or have performances coming up outside of Seattle. Mostly I just play at the airport or churches, or sometimes I have smaller little gigs around Seattle. I'd love to tour and create kind of a show. I've performed with my sister too, who's a singer, and so she's working on her album, and we'll both be done with our albums beginning of September, and we have a vision of doing something together. So we'll see. I would love to tour at some point, and go to Argentina and Germany. That's another place. I mean, I would love to perform there. My dad is German, so I have family in Hanover, and yeah, just have a deep connection with Germany, and so that's another place I'd love to go. Is there anything out there that you would like me to play, or any suggestions of covers? That's a question for you all. I'll write that too. Okay. I'm gonna take a sip of my green smoothie. I drink these like every day. This one has grapefruit, mango, mixture of greens like spinach and Swiss chard, and water. It's really tasty, really good for you. Oh, Teresa, are you in Germany? You from Germany? Okay. What else can I say? So after Game of Thrones video, I'm thinking of doing one of my meditation songs as my next video, to help promote that new CD. And then I also have a new song called Flying Solo that's on my pop album. and planning on making a video for that. The pop, like dubstep songs are a little harder to make cool videos for. Oh, that's a good idea, Teresa. She says, I'd like to see something, or like to see classical music mixed with some modern sounds. That actually was an idea for my pop album. I was gonna do, if there's any flute players out there, I was gonna do Mozart Concerto in G, like dubstep style. But that might have to be on the next album because ran out of funds. It's really expensive to make an album, and takes a lot of time, so I just didn't have enough funds at this point to do that project. But I like that idea too. Oh, thank you. Ron, I'm not sure how to, Ronja is how I would say it in English, but it's probably Ronja or something. That's really sweet. I know we'll meet someday. Oh, yeah, I'd like to go all over Germany, you know, to travel a bit. But yeah, all my family lives in Hanover. It's 11. It's a half an hour. Well, today it's 11 o'clock in Seattle right now, and it's sunny and warm. And I actually just moved into a new house with one of my best friends and her husband. And today we're having a house party. So after this conversation, I'm going to help my friend get ready. Oh, ich kann ein bisschen Deutsch sprechen. Ich kann verstanden. Das ist, oh shoot. It's easier to understand when someone speaks to me in German, but I do know a little bit. I've been to Germany like 12, 13 times. And the first time I went, I was 10 years old. My parents sent me there by myself for a month, and I stayed with my Oma and Opa, and they don't speak English. So I learned German because nobody could speak English, and it was a little bit traumatic. I was kind of upset with my parents for doing that, but it was also cool. I really, it's a great way to force you to learn the language. Thank you. It's a pleasure to meet all of you. I'm really touched that you're all on here. I didn't know if anyone would be here to talk to me, and it's really cool to connect to people all over the world and to have support. And so thank you so much for being here. Another question, is it hard to write new songs? Yes. I did not know what I was doing. I mean, there's different types of writing. So my pop dubstep album, yeah, that's difficult to write a song. The meditation album it's a different challenge, but it's more improvised, so I don't need to have a strong structure. And so that's kind of fun. I close my eyes, I'm listening, and that's how I'm working on this new album. The pop dubstep album, that was a whole new experience that I had to figure out because I didn't know how to write. I mean, I got my master's in flute, but we didn't really learn how to write a song. And so now I've kind of have the formula. It's like, okay, it's a pop song. So you have to have your A, your B, a chorus. And so I'm starting to figure that out. But I had a lot of help from the producers. He like really helped me create my songs. Thank you, Alfrix. Oh, I'm so glad you enjoy Kiss the Rain. I've heard some beautiful comments on that video that are so moving. You know, when I hear that somebody's been moved to tears by music, that is so touching to me because, you know, it's happened to me several times, but not all the time that I like actually feel so touched by music. But when that happens, it's so special to me. So thank you so much for those comments. What else about Kiss the Rain? You know, what I love about music too is getting into that space of feeling so connected. Like when I can feel really emotions while I'm playing, that's what keeps me excited and going, and sharing that space with other people is a really cool experience. Algeria, all right, I'll come to Algeria. And you'll come to Germany for me. Wow, thank you. Am I gonna play the flute during the party? Probably not. But you never know. Have you ever thought to play Vivaldi Spirit? Vivaldi Spirit, I'm not sure what that song is. I've played a lot of Vivaldi, but oh, I'm so glad. I loved Kiss the Rain. Yeah, Kiss the Rain is really special. And the location was really beautiful too, being in that forest. So Seattle has so many beautiful areas, actually. It's great for filming our videos, all of them, except for one. We're in Seattle. Oh, Ranja says she loved Kiss the Rain. Yeah, thank you so much. I'm so glad you like Kiss the Rain. Hopefully you're playing that song. That would be great. How do you study difficult technical pieces? Like when you have to play several notes very fast. Do you have any tips? How do you study difficult technical when you play several notes very fast? So are you talking about double tonguing when you go like in Crystallize or in my song Driven? There's fast double tonguing. And that's a whole different situation where you're not just blowing across the flute, but you're doing something in your throat as well. You're going ticka, 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 tat. It's tat-cut. And that, if that's what you're talking about, if that's your question, you should look up double tonguing on YouTube and watch a video on and having them explain that. Again, I'm curious if people would want a video or if I did another live chat with my flute showing you, I don't know, how to play Crystallize or something. That's another idea. But so look up double tonguing online, and metronome. You have to play fast things slowly with the metronome in order to like perfect it. So that's another tip. It's really important to do that. Do you prefer playing for a big or for a small audience? Ooh, I like both. You know, an intimate audience where I can really see everyone. I love that. A big audience is also fun because there's just a lot of energy in the audience. You know, when I get on stage too, I've had moments where I'm like, I imagine I'm in the audience as well. Like I'm sitting and watching, and because I believe we're all connected in a way. So that idea really helps me connect to the audience. It also helps me imagine, like, okay, I'm sitting there. What do I want to see? How do I want to connect from that viewpoint of being in the audience? So yeah, I love, geez. For playing for very fun. Thanks for the answer. When's your next album coming out? Whoa, did I just turn red a little? Got a question from Jason. When's your next album coming out? Well, I don't have set dates for the albums yet because I'm working on both my meditation album and my pop album, but the meditation album will probably come out in July, definitely by August, and the pop dubstep album should be out end of September, my guess. Have I ever played video games? Nah, not really. I played Donkey Kong and maybe a little Mario Kart, but that's about it. I'm so sad when my own flute lessons end this summer. This is Teresa. Yes, that is so cool. I would, one of the things I want to offer is like more music for flute players. So I do have on my website a place where you can buy sheet music, and because I'm always looking for new flute songs that I like, as well, like pop or something different. So I love that I can offer that to other flute players. How do you do that thing where you can play a note and then you play the note up an octave within a really short time period so that it almost sounds like an echo? How do you do that thing where you play a note, you put a note up an octave so that it almost sounds like an echo? I'm not exactly sure what you're talking about, but so to play a low note, and then, so with the flute, you change everything by your embouchure. You play by squeezing your lips a little bit tighter in the corners and blowing a little bit harder, you get your high note. So I would practice, if you want, this is what I do with my students. I have them play a scale or go through a chromatic scale where you're playing C, low C to the next C. And you go low C, high C, low C, high C. I'll do it for you really quick since I happen to have my flute here. And while I'm grabbing that, what's your favorite film? My favorite film is Braveheart, and I just posted a little video of me playing, or not video, a little recording of me playing a song from Braveheart. And then I love Titanic too. But I love lots of movies and shows, and yeah. The only thing I don't like watching is horror. Okay, so going from a low note to a high note, right? This is an exercise I do with my students. Okay, so hopefully that helps a little. That's one little exercise. Okay, bye, Teresa. I'll try to find an example. Cool, thanks, Peggy. Would you like to write songs for a film one day? I'd like to play songs on a film one day. Maybe not do the writing, because that's challenging. But yeah, I'd love to play my flute on a film. Okay, Peggy sent me something. I'm going to check this out. All right, so I have a little bit more time if there's any more questions. Let's see. Okay, just listen to a little bit of Mozart there. Where did I go? There I am. And I think the exercise I gave you, being able to go from low to high notes, is a great one. Also, just play a lot of high notes. What do I do in my free time except for playing the flute? Let's see. I go to a lot of yoga classes. Starting to run a little bit. I hang out with friends. And what else do I do? Oh, more questions. Oh. And yeah, and I hang out. I'm really close to my family. So all my sisters, we hang out a lot, and I go on hikes, and then I'm working really hard. Besides playing the flute, like there's a lot of other stuff just of organizing and, you know, updating my YouTube and Facebook and scheduling. That all takes a lot of time. I guess that's not what I do in my fun free time, but it's kind of a constant every day. I'm working on that. Here's another question. I'm starting to have flute lessons, so I wonder if you have some advice to give young musicians. Yeah, Andreas asked me that as well. I think finding songs you really enjoy to keep you motivated to practice is a really important thing. I think finding a teacher you really like that can help you and inspire you, listening to other flute players, listening to other music, going to concerts. And then I think the biggest one to keep you motivated is performing for other people. Once you have a performance, even if it's just your friends or your family, will keep you motivated to practice. So actually this summer, I'm gonna have all my students meet, well, whoever's taking lessons, we're going to perform on the street in the town I live, Ballard. I'm gonna have everyone come outside and play a couple songs on the street. And I think that's a great way to get over getting nervous about playing. It takes pressure off. You'll see some people just walk right by. Some people might sit and listen, but a great way to practice performing because, you know, that's one of the gifts about playing music is you get to share it with people and other people enjoy it. So play on your street, play at the farmer's market. That's another, you can play simple, easy songs. Yes, Costa Rica. I want to go to Costa Rica. I loved Costa Rica. Actually, I went there a couple years ago. I was in Nosara and at this retreat, and we did yoga and there was music and it was so beautiful. And I would love to go back to Costa Rica. Okay, bye, Andreas. Thank you so much. Oh, when you have to change your fingers very fast, just like in that song. Okay, so if you want to practice getting fast fingers, you just got to do scales, and you have to do it with the metronome. So turn on your metronome, right? And scales, that's all I can say. And it has to be with the metronome. You can't just play scale, because the metronome will make your fingers move exactly in time, and that's so important to playing evenly and fast. Amen. Okay. Oh, thank you, Fupolini Fo. Where in the world would you like to know or to go? I would like to go, there's a lot of places I'd like to see. Where would I like to see? I mean, I think South America would be cool to visit. I want to go back to Costa Rica. What else do I want to see? I mean, I do love the West Coast where I live right now, in Seattle. Oh, what's up, Wanderson? David, 50 minutes late. Oh no. Did you ever have a moment of doubt? You know, when you're like not 100? Yes. Oh yeah. Definitely feeling of doubt. And you know, after I got my master's degree, I wasn't, I mean, I've always been teaching flute lessons since I was 16. I love that. I love teaching. I love helping people figure it out, and also just being like a mentor to my students. So I love when we talk about other things, other issues that's going on in their lives, and can offer some support. Because throughout my life, or maybe when, let's see, I was 18, I started counseling. I started really questioning, like, what is going inside, what's going on inside of me, these thoughts, these feelings, how do I deal with that? And so I've been on a journey of really trying to understand who I am, like why I'm reacting, to understand my feelings. And as I think, had more acceptance and understanding, it brings more clarity and ease in everything else I do. So music, of course, is a big part of my life. And as I've been more confident in myself, I've felt more confidence in playing music. But when I first started, well, first of all, just being like, Bevani, should I have that stage name? Should I really use that? That was difficult for at least like a couple of years, being like, okay, I'm gonna have a stage name, and I'm gonna really try to do this. Especially because I've felt some of my own judgments from other classical musicians, or just that whole world. There's a very kind of strict system in place of how you play music, of playing in an orchestra, and that didn't quite always feel right to me. But so I've judged myself of being like, oh my gosh, I'm playing like easy music. Like River Flows In You is pretty easy in the classical world. But it moves me, it's beautiful. So I've started to let go of some of my own judgments around that, and really enjoying everything. Like one note can be so beautiful. But yeah, so my self-doubt in being a musician and doing this, for sure, especially 2 years ago when I was starting, I didn't know like where should I go? What kind of music should I play? What do I want to say? So and I'm still figuring it out. I still have moments of doubt, but it is nice where I am right now of being like, okay, this is fun. I know I'm following that inner voice. So I'm happy to be where I am now. I'm gonna read some more questions. My question, is it really important to tune the flute, and how do you do that? Yeah, it's important to tune the flute. There's, with this flute, you adjust it by pulling it out or pushing it in. And I always tell my students, when you pull it out, you're getting lower, like a bigger instrument, like a bass. When you push it in, you're becoming smaller. Your sound will get higher, like a piccolo. You can get a tuner, which will tell you, you know, if you're in tune. And every note is a little different on the flute, but I have my students tune to A, low A, middle D, high A, and then high D, and check all those notes. It's also important that your flute is in pretty, you know, okay condition. So I always try my students' flutes, make sure it's working, make sure the notes are working, because it's really frustrating if you're a young student and your flute actually isn't working. So the main way to tune the flute is by pulling out or pushing in. But then there's other ways too. If you blow harder, you're gonna get higher. Your pitch is gonna get higher. If you blow a little softer, you're gonna get lower. Another way is rolling in or rolling out. So that's higher. And then if you're playing the flute just totally solo by itself, the intonation isn't quite as important. But if you're playing with the piano, then yes, you know, playing in tune with the piano is so important. So, you know, you could press one note, keep playing that note, and then play your note on the flute as a way to tune. And it's something that you'll just develop. It'll get stronger and stronger. It's really, really listening to the sound. Hopefully that helps a little bit. I love what you do, and it shows that you also, and it shows that you also love him. Sure, could I tell you something about my video process? Yeah, well, so I work with one videographer, Ryan, and so for example, my next video I'm filming tomorrow, Game of Thrones, and I sent him the soundtrack. So I send it to Ryan and I say, hey, I want to make a video for this. I'm thinking desert scene. What do you think? And he's like, cool, I like it. We find a date that works for both of us. A lot of the videos are just Ryan and I working together. Nobody else is involved. You know, we're carrying all these bags, and I set up this. Okay, so then what happens is I have my flutes, and I have a little Bose speaker that I plug my music into. So I blast my song. So tomorrow I'll blast Game of Thrones, and then I play along with it. And we don't plan too much. Like sometimes we'll just see something and be like, oh, this is a cool spot. Let's get a shot here. Ryan really does most of the film work. Like he does all the editing. He has a really great vision and knows how to capture things. We work really fast. Tomorrow it'll just be a 3-hour shoot, and I'm sure it'll be great. And, you know, I'm really lucky to have him helping me. I know that videos can be super expensive, and he gives me a great deal, and he's just supportive. And also tomorrow I am hiring one other person to help. He'll help Ryan and I just holding our gear and pressing play for me for the music. It makes it a little bit easier, a little faster. Hopefully that answers some of the video questions. Okay, so I have a question about the flute again. So there's always some sort of rustle. When I play in the third register, some sort of rustle. Do you have any tips to play these notes clearer and brighter? Okay, well, another exercise I like doing is harmonics. So that means you're gonna play a low C, fingering a very low C. Let's see here. So there's my low C. And now I'm going to keep those fingers and just blow a little bit harder to get the harmonics. So. And the top note, I'm going to hold as long as I can and play it as soft as I can. Though playing the harmonics soft will help you with your high register and tightening up your embouchure. I'll try another note like G. And that highest note is actually, that highest harmonic. If you take your thumb off and play a high G, it should feel easier in your mouth and hopefully make the sound a little bit more clear. So that's another exercise you can try. Am I nervous before or while I give performances? Oh yeah, I've been so nervous before when I perform. However, it's changed now. But when I was younger and performing, I was super nervous. My hands get sweaty, I get shaky, my heart's beating fast, and that's challenging. It's so annoying. You're like, oh, I've practiced so much and I know this song and I'm getting nervous and now I can't do it the best way I want, or la la la. So how I've dealt with my nerves and what I tell my students is not to try to stop it, not to say, hey, you can't be here, but to actually get curious about your nerves. What's happening in your body? I believe the more that you can actually allow it to be there, it can move. It'll shift faster than trying to stop it and cut it off. Right now, I actually use my nerves now to connect me. I think nervous energy is also like excitement energy. And if I cannot, again, if I'm try to stop it and block it, then it can get bigger in my head. But when I use it to actually connect, I'll be like, oh, I feel this heart. I feel this, what's going on? I might put my hand on my heart and be like, okay, you know, it's okay. It's okay that I'm nervous. And it's like an energy that if I play, if I connect just in my mind to it, I can somehow use it to expand. And that's how I see it now. But also I don't really get as nervous anymore when I perform. It's shifted, partly having songs memorized, just performing more. Like I'm just performing a lot more. It really makes it easy. That's why I think you should go play on your street, play for your parents, just practice performing as much as you can. Thank you, Baram. Thank you very much. Yeah, so the next question is, can you recommend some durable flutes or flute brands? Because there aren't any repair shops or anything like that in my country. Well, often, I'll just say that often if there's someone who plays saxophone or that knows how to repair those instruments, they might know how to repair a flute. But I think a beginner flute, a great beginner flute is the Yamaha. And I'll tell you what brand that is. Let's see, I have some information on my website. Oh, by the way, I'm making a new website. It's gonna be really cool. It's really pretty. And I am going to be leaving here in a couple minutes. So if there's any more questions you have for me, please write them. And I'm going to delete this video. So 1 second here. So I think the Yamaha 221 or 225 are great beginner flutes. I also like, if you're gonna buy a new, little bit more professional flute, the Azumi, Dezau, and Lyric. and I will write these in the link here, are the best flutes to start with. The best way to place the thumb on the flute. So you can see I actually use a thumb port. I'm kind of small though, and the flute can be heavy, and I've had wrist and tendonitis pain. So this makes the flute a little bit lighter on my right hand. It's not for everyone. I don't think that everyone should do it. But if you're small and the flute feels kind of heavy, then it's a nice gadget to have. It's called a thumb port. So that's, you know, I've seen different places your thumb can go. Mine is, well, really you're holding the flute with your right thumb, with your right pinky, and then this knuckle, the left knuckle. And so you want, and then your chin, you're pushing the flute against your chin. So I tell my students, you know, your right thumb should be pretty much under your right pointer finger. But again, it depends on your hand. Everyone's a little bit different. But you want your fingers to move as easily and smoothly as possible. So that's what I think about the thumb. Practicing articulation. I don't know how to say it in English. Yes. What exercises or techniques? So articulation, again, I'm not, you know, just tonguing, or there's double tonguing. Double tonguing, you can buy books on how to double tongue. I mean, if you like Lindsay Sterling, her Crystallize, that's a great double tonguing exercise. You can just take a scale, and again, the metronome. I tell all my students, like, it's annoying, but you have to be able to play with the metronome evenly, because then you can play with other people. Then you can play with backtracks and be right on. So double tonguing, I just go tucka-tucka-ta, tucka-tucka-ta. My warm-up when I practice, well, not every day now, but I always go through all my scales double tonguing. So I'll start on low C, C major scale. Whoa. I am not warmed up right now. So, and then I go to my D flat major scale. But again, going a little slower. So that's how I practice double tonguing. Maybe that's what you're talking about, the articulation. I'm so glad my videos inspire you. I think that's so cool. And I try to watch videos that inspire me. I try to listen to musicians that inspire me as well. Oh, cool. You play with the thumb port too. Yep. Oh, the left thumb. Okay, so the left thumb, I mean, I just, let's see, how do I show this? My thumb is, does that look right? It's just on the bigger key here. That one I think should be pretty explanatory, you know, so you have your left thumb here, and then if you want to use the B flat key, right, that's right next to it. So that's what mine looks like. Again, depends on your fingers, I think, how the length. But that one, I usually don't worry about too much with my students. Yes, please share the phrase that you want. Oh, there it is. Okay, when someone tells us that something is impossible for you, smile. Remember that the reality that you are going to create they can't even imagine. Smile and remember that the reality that you are going to create. I like it. That's important. Yeah. Thank you all so much. This was so cool. I was really wondering if there might not be anyone on this. And so I really appreciate your questions, your comments, your support. I can feel it even if I don't, see you every day. It really, honestly, it really inspires me to go on. It gives me energy, and I'm so grateful. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening or day. And maybe I'll do this again. If you have any other questions or feedback, please let me know. And I wish you all the best. Bye.